Hello everyone and welcome. I haven't done a review of a cordless oscillating tool in a long time, and there have been plenty of improvements in oscillating tools over the past few months. So I looked around to see which oscillating tool to review, and I decided on this oscillating tool from Kimo. When I compared this Kimo tool to the Harbor Freight oscillating tool, I found that Harbor Freight only offers a 12-volt tool. This Kimo oscillating tool is 20 volts, so that's a no-brainer. Then I tried comparing this Kimo toolkit to name brand tools like DeWalt, Ryobi, or Milwaukee. Those were all much more money, so this was a very simple decision to make right here. On top of that, I already have a lot of different Kimo tools and they've been very good to me. So again, this was the tool that stood out as the best choice. So let's unbox this puppy and see how it performs. But before we do that, if you enjoy watching honest tool and product reviews plus helpful DIY projects, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get notified every time I produce a new product review video or DIY video. Alright, so let's see what we have here. This is the oscillating tool from Kimo. Here's a shot of the box for you. And let's open this puppy up. Comes in a nice bag. Let me take it all out of here. Alright guys, so when you unbox this puppy, this is everything you get. Now this is the Kimo 20V cordless variable speed oscillating multi-tool kit, available on Amazon, link in description below. Now at the time of making this video, this kit retails for $89.99. But they do have a $5 discount coupon on the Amazon page, so you can get it even cheaper than that. And also, if you don't want to get this entire kit, to give you a choice. If you're like me and you're already in the Kimo family and you have plenty of chargers and batteries and all that, and you don't want to buy all this, you can buy tool only for only $49.99. So that's one way to save yourself some money right there. Now, what do you get in the bag? Well, what you get is basically you start off with the owner's manual that tells you everything about the toolkit, how to get everything set up, warranty, maintenance, all that kind of good stuff. I suggest you read through it. Then what you get is you get the tool itself, you get a 2 amp hour 20 volt lithium ion battery, you get a rapid charger, you get a depth gauge, a sanding pad, multiple cutting blades, plunge cut blades, all that kind of good stuff, 15 sheets of sandpaper, 5 of 3 different grits. You get 60, 80, and 120, so 5 of each of those. You get a handle, and you get a bag to keep it all in. So you get a very complete kit that has everything you need to get started and keep on going doing all sorts of different projects. Now this unit is very compact. You're talking only 10.5 inches in length, 2.5 inches in width, and 3.5 inches in height. So very compact unit. And it is also very lightweight. It only weighs 3.2 pounds with the battery attached. So that's very lightweight. Now this Kimo tool, like all Kimo tools, comes with a 2-year warranty. And if you register it on the Kimo site, you get an extra 6 months for free. So that's pretty good right there. 2.5 years of warranty from Kimo. And this is a variable speed tool. As you can see right here, you have 6 different speeds that you can choose from, so you can get it going anywhere from 0 to 21,000 OPMs, or oscillations per minute. It has a 2-position handle where you can put the handle on either side, the right side, the left side, either way, it attaches on both sides. So that's very convenient right there. It has a nice rubber overmold on the back and the bottom right there, top and bottom, so you can get a good grip, and it resists fatigue and so forth because it is nice and rubbery. So it does resist fatigue on your hands and so forth as the tool is oscillating. Now, one good thing also to point out about this tool that I noticed once I got it is that it has a lot of ventilation ribbing all around. So that should be very good for the future of the tool as far as staying cool and not wearing out rapidly. Some other brands have it all closed up. This gives you a lot of good ventilation all the way around, so it should prolong the life of the tool considerably. The oscillating angle on this tool is 3 degrees. Other brands may have different angles, but that's what Kimo chose was the best one for them. And one cool thing about this one also is that it has an LED light on the front to light up your work area. If you pop in the battery for that, turn it on right there, you can see the LED. And actually you can hear right there, it's fairly quiet. It's not very noisy at all. It is not a very noisy tool at all. And that's very nice. When you're working with it for a long time, you don't want it to be hurting your ears. And another cool thing about this tool that some other brands don't have is it has a quick change head. Instead of like the old ones where you had an Allen key where you had to screw it on, unscrew it all the time, with this one it's just a quick change. You pop it open, the head pops down, you slide in whatever you need to do, just slide it in there, and then obviously hold on to it so it doesn't fall out, and you close it up and you're ready to go. Pick the angle that works for you, and there you go. It snaps in place, not going anywhere, it's stuck in there right there. So that's very convenient. You want to change out, take it off, pop another one in, and you're ready to go. So a quick change head is very convenient on these tools. A lot of the other cheaper brands may not have that. They'll just have the old Allen key design. So that's very convenient right there. So let's put this puppy to some testing. Let's start doing some cutting, sanding, oscillating, all sorts of different things and see how it performs. All right, guys, so we're all set up here, and we're going to be doing some testing and see how this guy performs. Because what are oscillating tools good for? Well, they're good for all sorts of trimming and cutting and sanding and getting into really tight, narrow, hard-to-reach places. That's when you don't want to use a bigger tool, you pull out this guy right here. They're great for trimming. They're great for cutting into, like, drywall like this. Let's say you want to put in an outlet or something, and you need to cut into a piece of drywall. Great for that. You don't want to use a big old saw for cutting that. That's where this guy comes in. A little piece of wood that you want to trim, a tight, hard-to-reach corner where you can't get a big sander in there. Good for sanding wood like that. This is a piece of floorboarding right here. We're going to use this as an example of whether it's wall paneling, floor paneling, wood trim, anything like that. That's a perfect example right there. You need to be either cutting into that or cutting off a corner, anything along those lines. That's where these guys come in really, really handy. Also wanted to give you a closer look at the unit itself. What I was telling you earlier about the different speed control right there. It is a rotating knob. As you can see, you rotate it and you can change the speed on the fly. You don't need to stop and start every time. And I'll show you how that works right now. It's on the highest speed right now, and you see it's not very noisy. Now you can go down. So you can select whatever speed you want. If your job changes along the way, change your speed and keep on going. No trouble whatsoever right there. And also, one thing also that I wanted to point out that I mentioned earlier is the depth guide. Now, what is the depth guide? I'll show you how to use it in a moment. But this has different numbers written on it right there telling you exactly how deep you're going to be cutting. Because we all know you have depth guides for drills, for saws, things like that. What about for this guy? This is it right there. So what you do is you pick the one, you see you have more, less, in between right there. You pick the depth that you want and you insert this onto the head. So you put this right there and it guides you when you're cutting. When you're cutting, if you want to cut into something, that'll stop you from going too deep right there. You need a little bit less than that? Well, you just take it off, turn it around, and there you see right there, that's a smaller depth right there. You go in further. So that's exactly how this convenient little tool right there works as a depth guide. So that's very, very handy. All right, so then what we're gonna do is do some cutting, do some sanding, and let's see how it performs. All right, guys, so let's say you wanted to put a receptacle, a new receptacle into an existing wall. So this is a piece of drywall right here. What you would do is mark it off. Obviously, this is where you want your receptacle. Then instead of getting a big saw, jigsaw, anything like that, pull out your little oscillating tool and start cutting away. And you see right there, you cut out the piece of drywall that you wanted. Now, obviously, I did a very quick and dirty job right there. I didn't take my time. I didn't do it nice and neatly. You can do a better job, but I was doing it quickly just for the demonstration of the video. So if you do a cleaner job, you wouldn't have that big a mess right there. But you see exactly how it performs. It cut right through it like a hot knife through butter. No trouble at all. Let's cut some wood and see how that performs. Alright, so here is a piece of floorboard that you can use, for example, as any kind of wood material, whether it's wood paneling or floorboard or molding or anything along those lines. You can see it's not a very thick material, so it works well for all that kind of examples that I just gave you. So let's say you had to put some flooring down and you wanted to cut off a corner or something like that around an existing wall or something along those lines. You wanted to get that done. Well, instead of a big saw and making a big mess and noise, pull out the old oscillating tool and away you go. And there you go right there. You cut a perfect corner and got rid of this little piece of wood without a whole lot of trouble. And all you do is a little bit of dust and you're good to go. You insert that flooring now and you're good to go. No trouble at all. If it was a molding, if it was wall paneling, any of that, you'd be fine. You'd be taken care of. And you can obviously cut all the way across if you needed to. It's just a little bit longer to do that. Alright guys, so I switched over to the sanding head, and this makes a perfect little shoe sander right there where you have a nice little pointy edge and you can get into really tight corners, hard to reach places, etc. Imagine that this piece of wood had a wall around the corners here and you couldn't get a big sander in there to cut it. Well, this makes it a whole lot easier, makes short work of it right there. So this sanding head has like a Velcro to it, so everything just sticks to it and you just peel it off, throw it away and get a new one and you keep on going. So let's see how it performs as sanding. I have a piece of wood here, you see it has some stain on it. Let's see how well it sands that off. And there you go. You can see how easily it sands off the stain and everything else, makes it a nice smooth finish, and you're ready to go. So it works beautifully as a sander. Alright guys, how about using this oscillating tool for cutting pipe? PVC pipe or ABS pipe, cutting sprinkler pipe or pipe under the house or under the kitchen sink, anything like that. Can you use it for that? Well, let's find out. Right here I have some thick wall PVC pipe right there. You can see the thick wall pipe. I'm holding it through this 2x4 to have a better grip on it, and let's do some cutting. And there you have it, cut through it with no trouble whatsoever. So you can use it for cutting plastic pipe also. Probably work for copper and all that as well. Alright guys, there you have it, a review and demonstration of the Kimo 20V cordless oscillating tool. I think this is a great tool for the money. It's compact, cordless, and powerful enough to handle any job that you throw at it. This kit is also a bargain. If you're just starting out and you don't have any of these attachments, this kit gets you up and running for a great price. All the other brands on the market cost more and bring less. If you don't want the entire kit, remember, you can also buy just the tool by itself and get it even cheaper. Don't waste money and time with a 12-volt oscillating tool. Get the power of a 20-volt tool that has a lot more to offer and you'll never regret it. Check out their Amazon page or the Kimo website for complete details. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.